What he's talking about is it's something called the Research Activities Credit, which, by the way, just so you know, I'm a supporter of the Research Activities Tax Credit. This is a tax credit that is a refundable tax credit. That means even if you don't have a tax liability in the state, you can use this credit to get money back. So you get money paid back to you for the research activities you engage in. Research activities are defined under federal tax law. And what it does is it takes a company like Rockwell Collins in Cedar Rapids, and Rockwell Collins makes, if you're ever on an airplane, they made something on that airplane. Avionics, the black boxes, the navigation equipment, all that kind of stuff. Rockwell Collins makes, and they make it for about every plane in the world. So they're a very big corporation. And Iowa has a unique tax policy as it relates to corporate taxes. We tax, some states tax corporation. Your corporate tax liability is based on the amount of property you have in the state, the amount of sales you have in the state, and the amount of employment you have in the state. And they take those three factors together and calculate your company's profits and that's the share of each of those three factors, and that's how you come up with, and then you apply a tax to whatever that profits would be attributable to your state. Iowa only, and most states are three factors. Iowa only has one factor, that's sales. So if you build a factory in Iowa, that does not magnify your taxes in the state. Or if you hire more employees in Iowa, that does not magnify your taxes in the state. It does in most other states. So Iowa only bases it on sales. And how many planes are manufactured in the state of Iowa? Not very many, right? So Rockwell Collins sells billions of dollars outside the borders of the state of Iowa, and they pay no corporate income tax because they have no sales inside the state of Iowa. They do pay a ton of property taxes in the state of Iowa. They've probably got a $2 billion plant in Cedar Rapids. They do pay taxes on the income for all of those employees, and the average wages there are probably over $75,000 a year. They hire engineers from around the world to come to Cedar Rapids and design and do research and invent new ways of doing avionics. So it is a great deal for the state of Iowa to encourage them with a tax benefit through the Research Activities Tax Credit. And a set of three fairly large companies, DuPont, John Deere, and Rockwell Collins, probably get approximately 30 million of about 44 million in research activities tax credits in the state of Iowa. I think it's a great deal for the state of Iowa. We get lots of very good jobs. But all of that said, we're going to have $900 million in the bank on July 1st. Allowable growth at 2% costs $65 million. We're going to be we will be able to, in essence, write the check for the next 4 years to pay for allowable growth at 2%. So it's really kind of a manufactured crisis relative to the state budget. It's really kind of a manufactured crisis to set aside a big pile of money to do some other tax cuts. So I guess I'd say we can do both. We can have research activities, tax credits that creates literally tens of thousands of jobs in the state of Iowa, good, high-wage, high-skilled jobs. We can have that, and we can provide for the needs of our kids in schools.
We have to keep in mind that we need to redesign our mental health care in Iowa. We have some inefficiencies, and we need to address that as well. So there's a lot of things we need to look at, not just education.
Well, I would respectfully disagree with the senator in the fact that I don't believe it's a manufactured crisis. Our trust funds and other funds have been depleted by the previous governor, the previous legislature, and that is $600 million that needs to go into those funds, and even our Democrat colleagues who sat across the table from us the other night as we were debating the collective bargaining bill conceded that fact as well. So I just respectfully disagree on that point.
This is your follow-up question.
Yeah, we were talking about sharing. I just want to know where these corporations are sharing. They're not paying any taxes into Iowa. They're bringing in people.
Your question is,
why don't we share?
okay. Well, I think the point is that Governor Gronstal has talked a lot about shared sacrifice. So far, the people that are losing, people that are contributing in terms of that share of the sacrifice to help balance the state budget are our kids in schools and people that need access to health care.
I think we should share. Excuse me. Look, the House passed across the board 20% income tax cut. This affects everyone from low income to high income. That's the jobs bill. It's one of our jobs bills because most small businesses in Iowa are taxed through the personal income tax. You know, your partnerships, C corporations, all of those entities, which really are the heart of employment throughout the state of Iowa, are taxed through the individual income tax. By cutting that 20%, that is our shared way of working toward prosperity and jobs.